Where were we? We're still over here on the north side of the structure. And what we've got here is some cracks in the siding. And what I'm not seeing, and I'm going to be back with some binoculars. In fact, I'm going to put a ladder up here. Maybe I get some binoculars, but I'm not seeing Z-bar flashing with my tired old eyes. I'm not seeing Z-bar flashing over the window fenestrations. Another thing that I'm not seeing with my tired old eyes, and this is pretty much given. Let's see, where's the broken one? The butt ends on the siding. They're supposed to have flashing tape behind them. There's supposed to be tape behind those, and there isn't. There isn't. I'll fall down when I find some. This debris. All this rotten wood. You're just asking. You're asking for termites. Just asking for it. There's another clean out. There's a clean out. Not the main. Main's out front, which I think we'll get to. Coming on along. Soffit vents. Gas enters north side of the house. That's in another video. Sprinklers are too high. See all this moss? It's not drying here. It's not drying here. See these footprints? If I'm leaving footprints, it's not drying here. It's not running off. Coming along, this is a good example. We've had some hail damage. Is that hail damage? Or is that from the yard crew? This is called a shrinkage crack. Some people call them corner pops. Call it what you will. Call it what you will. But what happens is the brick, this is the only part of your house that actually grows. You'll never be able to measure it. Cement, it eventually dries. The Hoover Dam finally dried. I used to think that it never dries, but this house isn't as old as the Hoover Dam. So the foundation is continuously drying. So it's shrinking, but you'll never be able to measure that. These two materials have different physical properties. The brick and the cement, they expand and contract at different rates, depending on the humidity, depending on the temperature, so forth. So there's a plastic, should be metal, I get it, but no, there's plastic goes around the edges here, and that plastic never gets to the corners. The brick's always expanding differently, the cement's always shrinking differently, and the corners pop. This is not a foundation issue. This might be a brick issue, it's holding up the brick, but it's not has anything to do with the foundation. Basically, if it's in the span of a hand, I don't know whose, but if it's in the span of a hand and it's going down like that, then that's not a brick, that's not a foundation issue. Coming along, this is about the only crack that I've noticed. I'll list all the rest of them right here. This is the master bedroom. This is the master bedroom. West wall, north window. And the window ledge right here, we got a little bit of crack right in there. There. Coming along, I'm not seeing any flashing over these windows. I'm not really seeing siding because they have a little freeze tucked up underneath there. So these might be, I can't remember seeing a detail. I can't remember seeing a white paper saying that's okay. Coming along, this is an ant bed, but it's high soil. High soil on this corner. We pose. We're doing good. We're doing good. Coming along. Let me see something here. Just yank you around. I probably should have gone on around the house. This is called a control joint. Some people call them expansion joints. Call them what you will. This is supposed to be here. See the length of this wall? Everybody expects this wall to move. Okay? See the lines in the street? They expect the street to move. So this is supposed to be here to control movement that's expected. Expected movement. About every year or so, you should come around. This house is 9 years old. I bet nobody's come around yet. But every year or so, you should come around because this does shrink. It does shrink and pull away. It does shrink and pull away. All roofs leak. Home ownership 101. All walls leak. This is supposed to shed water faster than they accept it. That's why we have these weep holes. Most of the time it's vapor that comes out of the weep holes. Most of the time. If you have an event, I've seen a couple, water will come out of here because it's supposed to. I hope you never see an event. But that's why we want to seal your expansion, your control joint. Because brick is porous. Brick is porous. It's designed, I mean, it gets wet. Water gets behind it, and that's why the vapor comes out. And then it dries. I mean, that's just the nature of the beast. That's the physical property of the material, building material. These stones, these pavers, they're not dimensionally uniform. So if Granny comes out here, I'm getting a battery sign, so this is going to be a 3 video exterior, not counting the outbuilding. The rain gutter's beat up right over here. People have been throwing a ladder up here is what's happened. I'm not going to put a ladder up there. I'm going to put a ladder up on the other side, but I mean, somebody was very careless. Just saying. We got some loose siding up here. We're over the master bedroom window. We're on the west wall, main house. See the loose siding up there? I'm not sure what that detail is. I'm going to have to, since I'm not putting a ladder up here, it's going to be binoculars. I might put a ladder up here, but we got something going on over there. We'll have to take a better look. We will. Fence, touching structure, continuous soffit vents. It's in 1 or 2 videos. Wooden fireplace chase with cap. We're going to talk about the fireplace a little bit. Nothing horrible, I don't think. Remember we talking about, or you're going to find out, the lintel extended 6 inches, and I don't know that it is or not, and it should be. The wood, a lintel is not required to support wood, it's required to support the brick. So a lintel is not required on this overhead door. This is not so much over here, but on these 2 doors, I mean on this door, on both sides of this door, and this side of this larger garage car entry, the attached garage, some of the sealant's coming around here, and that should be sealed because all walls leak, remember? And we have that crack over there, I'm reminding myself. We're looking for between 40 and 80 PSI. And by the way, this is the exterior faucet. I don't know how you're going to get a hose over there. There's not an exterior faucet around the outbuilding, attached garage. There's not an exterior faucet in the backyard. I mean, if you want to take water anywhere over on that part of the structure, this is, I assume this is where it's coming from. Or it's coming from the front one. That handle's kind of sticky. So we got 45 PSI. We've got a little bit of erosion over here on the south side. Hang on. I'm sorry, it was sticky, so I wanted to take that off and get my hands wet. Got a little bit of erosion over here on the south side of the garage. We're going to be talking about the air conditioning system here in a minute. We're going to be talking about the electrical in a minute. We are going to be talking about it. This is kind of, it should be sealed. It should be sealed. We'll talk about that twice. Trees, touching the roof, touching the, excuse me. Telephone's ringing again. All right, be a good time to change the battery, I guess. Good home, this is Bud. Oh, it's an important announcement. I'm kind of glad it rang, though. Kind of glad it rang. This is your weather sensor. It's not for the lawn sprinkler system. It's not positioned properly. And satellite dishes should not be mounted directly to the roof covering. And rain gutters should not discharge directly onto the roof covering. So we're batting 1,000 here. That's a trifecta. It's a trifecta. Bushes touching the house. We've got our weeps. Got our vent fans going. I'm looking for cracks. I'm not seeing. I saw one so far. There's another clean out. That's not the main. That's the vent for the kitchen cooktop vent, and it looks like there's some hail damage on that. Looks like there's some hail damage on this. This area has experienced some hail. I wasn't sure on the other side, but I'm sure on this side it's hail damage. This is for the water heater. Looks like we got 2 water heaters. That's what it's looking like. And then a safety pan will have a single drain. They're not supposed to discharge farther from the ground than 6 inches. Not closer than 3, not farther than 6. So the water heater drain lines, we know we've at least got that going on over here. These transition boots, I forget what they're called. I'll look it up. It'll be on the report. But they're torn. Got another one that's torn over there. It's worse. Weed whackers on that. Hail damage on that. Moving on along. More shrinkage cracks. All this wood mulch underneath the drip line. It's conducive. I got some at my house. I get it. My wife likes it. You know, happy home. But you know, that's conducive to wood destroying insects. And we got a lot of debris in there as well. And that's conducive to wood destroying insects. Tree. I know it's a little ornamental kitten, but it's going to grow up to be a big old nasty tomcat. Trees should not be closer to the slab foundation than 25 feet. They shouldn't have been placed that close. I get it. It's on all of them. Moving on along. Looking in the yard. Over here next to the Bonnie cart. She always makes a cameo. That's a main clean out. Lateral sewer clean out. I'd like to see doubles. I don't remember seeing any anywhere. I might find some eventually. Going on along. This is above the address. By the front portico. That's what we call it. We're French today. Roselle, I'm French.